People say they want truth about themselves. What they usually want is a version of truth that lets them stay the same with better language.
This isn't about people lacking self-awareness. It's about people curating it. Most people are willing to look inward until the thing they'd have to see threatens the story they live inside. Most people reading this will recognize themselves somewhere in it. They'll go far. Childhood, patterns, triggers, attachment styles, trauma language, all of it.
Yeah.
But only as long as it explains why they're right, sensitive, complex, misunderstood. That's where motivated reasoning comes in.
Right. Psychologically, people don't reason to discover truth. They reason to protect conclusions they're emotionally invested in. So when self-reflection starts pointing towards something that costs status, virtue, or identity, the mind doesn't reject it loudly. It reframes it. I'm not controlling. I'm detail-oriented. I'm not avoidant. I just value independence. I'm not arrogant. I just know my worth. Same behavior, new narrative, cleaner mirror. Think of the last time someone confronted you and your first instinct was not, are they right? But how do I explain this?
That's not ignorance. That's cognition doing its job. Then identity protective cognition. When a belief is tied to who you are socially, politically, professionally, or morally, the brain treats challenges to that belief like threats, not intellectual ones, social ones.
Yeah.
And social threats hit deeper than factual ones.
So when self-awareness approaches something that would force a downgrade of self-image, it doesn't break. It reroutes. Insight becomes storytelling, not lies. Better, more elegant lies. Stories that preserve dignity, coherence, and belonging. And here's the part people don't like. Most deep self-awareness is actually identity maintenance with psychological language. People don't say, I can't face that. They say, that's just not aligned with my truth. They don't say, I hurt someone. They say, that relationship was toxic. They don't say, I avoided responsibility. They say, I was protecting my energy.
The language gets cleaner.
Right.
The avoidance gets quieter. Then the mirror moment. If your self-awareness always ends with you looking reasonable, justified, and intact, you might not be self-aware. You might just be articulate. Real self-awareness leaves you smaller for a moment, less certain, less flattering, without a caption. It costs something, usually pride, sometimes status, often the story you've been telling about why your life looks the way it does. And that's exactly where most people stop. Not because they're shallow, because the human brain is designed to defend identity before it serves truth. At work, self-awareness is praised, but only the version that doesn't destabilize power, roles, or reputations. You can admit you're impatient. You can say you're too demanding. You can confess to overthinking. But notice what never gets said out loud. What's the benefit of staying dysfunctional? Clarity would expose the pattern. They criticize to avoid being examined. They perform insight instead of changing behavior. Those are identity-threatening insights. Proof of concept awareness is allowed. Consequential awareness is not. Then the uncomfortable turn.
Self-awareness that doesn't change your position in a room isn't awareness. It's decoration. And the closer you get to something that would force you to lose advantage, the more likely your mind will call it not helpful, too harsh, or not productive. That's not discernment, that's defense. Sometimes the thing being protected is not ego, it's authority. Sometimes it's being liked. Sometimes it's the right to not change while appearing reflective.
Actual self-awareness begins exactly where your explanations stop working. And most people never stay there long.